Namaste everyone and welcome to this session where or rather I should say we would be solving a section test of DILR together. Before we proceed, quickly confirm if the video, my audio, everything is working fine. I'll be waiting for your responses. Yeah, just quickly share if everything is working fine, then we'll straight away get going with our session. Good afternoon, Shivansh. Good to see you. Everything working fine? All right. So then, few pointers before we actually begin our sectional test. First of all, 3328. I'm pretty sure that most of you already know this mountain of an admit that IMS has got. Now go figure out the figure of speech used in the sentence previously. But the whole point is a big congratulations to the entire team and a big thank you to the students who actually worked hard and got those results. Being a part of this feels a great pleasure and a sense of gratitude that IMS has done so well. Now coming to the part on the DLR live sectional test that we have, understand that while I solve, the primary purpose for you should be to think and evaluate and learn rather than the actual true solving of the sectional test. So I'll share my 2 cents. It might just take 1 or 2 minutes. Just bear with me. I'm pretty sure that this would add a lot of value. So we'll start with the sectional test. But just like we do in any other sport, for example, I'm pretty sure that a lot of us are passionate about cricket or football or tennis. And the moment we are seeing a live match, we are filled with emotion saying, Arey, I should have, you should have done this. You should have left the ball outside the off stump. Maybe you could have, maneuvered it better and so on. There are a lot of things that you think you are wanting to do when you're watching a game from outside. Think of this DLR sectional test in similar terms. You're watching a game and how would you have played it differently? What is the thing that the other person is doing better? What are the areas of improvements that could be there? Think on all those lines. Think on the set selection strategy. So I'll share my inputs as to why I would want to pick a particular set, and therefore don't take it as a real simulation of an exam, because in a real simulation I'll not be talking parallelly, and therefore do not compare the scores, obviously, because there is no point comparing the scores with a mentor directly, even though the test is new. But focus solely on the set selection strategy, identifying the strengths that a particular individual has. So you might see that there are certain areas that I know I'm not good at. So I might not pick those certain areas or sets related to those areas. Similarly, for you, you might feel, this particular set sir has left, maybe I would have picked that and I would have got it right before sir could do it. So think on these lines while we actually take up the sectional tests. I hope that this adds a lot of value. The whole point being, because it's a game of 40 minutes and essentially we would want to make sure that we utilize those 40 minutes to the best of our abilities. And each individual is unique. Please do not, this is a very important word of caution. When you watch somebody else solving, please do not get swayed. Okay, this was very easy or this was very tough. Have your own judgments. Make sure that you have a mind of your own and you are unique in your own capabilities. So you tweak and twist your strategies based on your strengths. It's a good template for us to observe, understand how to navigate the exam pressure, but then we'll have to tweak it to the best of our abilities. Do not copy the same strategy. Do not follow it blindly. Make sure that you're smart enough to make those adjustments on your own. Small little things that I want you to pick up as and when I solve, and I'll parallelly do a commentary of the same as well wherever possible. While solving, please do not worry too much about my handwriting. That handwriting is really bad, but I have a notepad here, so hopefully this should be pretty legible. Anyways, any questions before we start? Otherwise, we'll straight away get going. All right. So I might be looking at your comments in the middle as well. but as and when I'm solving a set, there is a chance that I might not be able to look at your comments. I would be probably more engrossed in the solving of the part, but in between I'll try and keep a sanity check as to understand whether everything is going fine or not. So just in case you have any issues, do share in between. Do keep sharing your thoughts. Think of this as a live match and you keep sharing your thoughts as in, sir, this set could have been avoided. I would have picked this set. You're right on this. I don't agree on this. Anything on these lines would be great as an add-on to look at the comments in between, right? So without wasting any more time, let's get going with our sectional test. So I'll click on this. I have read the conditions. I'm ready to begin. Let's start. So we have 40 minutes timer. It's 39:58 as I speak now. The very first thing that I'm typically tempted to do when I look at this paper is not look at the first set. I'll straight away go to view question paper link at the top. I hope it is visible to all of you. I hope this is clearly legible. So understand what this does is, this gives me a quick snapshot of the entire set along with questions in one go. This is what I do. You might choose to do it otherwise, but if you are appearing in a lot of mocks, try this out in at least 2, 3, 4 mocks of yours and see whether this works better for you. If you feel this template doesn't work better for you, go back to your usual self where you evaluate every set one by one. So what I typically do is click on view question paper at the top right hand side, and the moment I look at this first set, so in a store, t-shirts are available for 4 different sizes, S, M, L and XL. Now I get a clear view of the pie charts that are given. So you have yellow, blue, black, yellow, blue, black, yellow, blue, black, yellow, blue, black and others. Although there are 6 colors, 3 are broadly identified. So pretty easy to read in terms of the percentage breakup given. Very familiar. So I'm very familiar with this. So in terms of type of set, I'll give it a lot of marks. There is nothing too difficult. The data is pretty simple to read. There are no conditions at all. So there are no conditions as such that I need to follow. So seems to be a pretty doable set. Let's quickly look at the type of questions as well. Which of the following can be the number of can be? So there is a possibility we'll have to figure out based on the conditions. If, again a question based on if the sum of brown and green, again extra info in questions. And question number 4th again has the number of t-shirts, extra data given in question. So there is a 5th question as well, and which of the following can be. So effectively based on this, I would say that this is, in terms of understanding of the data, pretty easy set, my area of strength. Although the questions look difficult, but because the data seems to be fairly simple, I'll want to pick this as my second or third set, or maybe a first set if other sets are difficult. So this is what I'll do. Then look at the next set. Following tables are based on the fielding data of top 100 wicket keepers who played one day internationals. So number of matches played fewer than or equal to, so we have 100 or less matches being played by 11 wicket keepers. All right. Number of catches taken more than 50, 100 wicket keepers. All right. Looks difficult, lot of data. Any wicket keeper who has played more, so if I look at this condition, has necessarily taken as many catches. So a lot of combinations with regards to wicket keepers, catches, stumpings, etc. seems to be time consuming, seems to be difficult to comprehend as well. Now compare the first set with this set. I was very comfortable with the first set, the 4 pie charts, we could identify the colors, the breakup. Here I'm not able to understand, and then if you look at questions, which of the following is correct, so we'll have to evaluate, will take time. What is the number of wicket keepers who played? So there is a particular range we'll need to find. So I'm not very comfortable with this set. Maybe I'll skip this set for now, come back later. There are 9 countries shown in the figure below. 2 countries are considered neighboring countries. All right. For example, E has 3 neighboring countries, C, A and G. So pretty easy to read so far. Detectives are A, B, C, D and so on. 9 agents belong to different. There are 11 clues. So this seems to be again from an area of strength where we have to identify different agents from different countries, but typically something that would probably take time. I might come back to this later. At this point in time, first set is the set that I'll want to start with straight away. So there are certain number of questions. Then the next is league matches, games and tournaments. Again, I'm tempted, it's an area of strength. Pakistan won the Tuesday morning match. India played 2 morning matches. How many teams? So we have India, South Africa, Australia, 5 teams playing against each other, 10 matches. Again, Although I'm tempted, I would say that this is slightly more time consuming. This is my judgment based on the set, and therefore I'll keep it as the second or third set. Maybe take a call between the set on the agents and this one. And finally, the last set, table below provides information about a talent hunt program organized by a TV channel. The program was conducted over 7 consecutive days. Table is given. Registration fee is given. New candidates are given. Candidates tested per hour. So per hour they are testing 140. Working hours are 10. So they will test 1400 candidates. Candidates remaining are 0. If you look at this, the table seems pretty easy to read. If you look at questions, what was the registration fee charge? Definite answer. It's a theta question. On the day of which registration fee was charged, how many new candidates? No, it's a MCQ. There is negative marking of 1. We are not able to see the options in view question paper, but we'll have a definite answer for this. On the day, how many new candidates registered? Again, definite answer for this. All 4 questions seem to have definite answers. I would probably be more comfortable with this set and the first set. So this is my takeaway. You might share your feedback in comments with regards to how you feel about the set selection, whether you agree to this or not. Right? So I would pick the first set straight away. Now some of you might have this doubt, sir, you have already wasted 5 odd minutes and I'm doing a lot of commentary as well, and therefore it would in actual scenario take lesser time, but I've wasted 5-7 minutes. No, think of it as an investment. If you pick the right set and get it right, it would give you those secured marks that you are expected to get. If you pick a wrong set by straight away solving, you might end up wasting 20-25 minutes, get frustrated. Getting the first 4 questions right, and this is a personal opinion, getting the first 4 questions right, 5 questions right, gives you momentum, gives you confidence, and therefore it's extremely important that even if you spend 5-6-7 minutes in trying to order the sets in which you are going to attempt them, is okay. As and when you move forward in your mocks, you can reduce the time to maybe closer to 5 minutes, maybe even less than 5 minutes, and then take that confidence forward that, you know, I'm good at set selection. Let me move with less than 5 minutes spent on trying to solve. Now let's quickly look at this particular set, how to approach. So in a store, t-shirts are available in 4 different sizes, S, M, L, XL. The number of t-shirts of each size is same. So very important clue that we can maybe have is about the number of t-shirts of each size is same. So we have what? 4 sizes now. We have S, M, L and XL, and if all the number of t-shirts of all sizes are same, I can assume them to be any value X each. Better for percentage conversion, let me assume this to be 100 each. So if I assume all of them to be 100 each, I know that there are 25 small yellow t-shirts. I know that there are 36 medium yellow t-shirts. If I assume all of them to be 100, I don't know whether this is 100. This is just a ratio just to understand this. There are 6 colors. Out of these 6 colors, yellow, blue, black are given. Others are the 3 remaining colors. The following pie chart gives the percentage breakup. So percentage breakup is pretty straightforward. Let's look at the first question. Which of the following can be the number of black t-shirts in the store? Now, if I just go with this simple ratio of 100, the black t-shirts here are 25, 25 and 5, 30, 30 and 50, 80, 80 and 50, 95. So can I say black t-shirts will be 95 if I assume all the individual shirt sizes to be equal, or the quantity of shirts to be equal to 100. Just on the basis of this, can I say whatever be the can be value of the number of black shirts, it has to be a multiple of 95? Think of it this way. I have assumed all the values to be 100 so that I get all the integral number of values for small, medium, large and extra large. As a result, I've got the number of black t-shirts as 95. Now the numbers are pretty large here, but whatever be the numbers, they have to be multiple of 95, because we'll change this to maybe 200 each, 300 each, 400 each, I don't know what value. So can I therefore say that the answer should be a multiple of 95? 95 is nothing but what? 5 into 19. So if I think of it like this, that I need to find a number as an option which is both a multiple of 5 as well as 19. 5 is a factor in all the options. So I'm pretty sure that all the options would justify. Let me just check for 19. So 210, 19 ones are 19. This is not a valid scenario. 19, 190 not divisible by 19. 180, 190 not divisible, 19 nines are 177. I would mark option fourth. So let me do that straight away. Option fourth, 1710. I'll click on save and next. So this gives me confidence. Once I get one question right, I'm pretty sure that I could maybe use the same template and go ahead, which is why set selection is probably the most important thing because of the level of difficulty of DLR. Some sets are very easy, some moderate, and some super tough. I'm pretty sure that there may be a possibility that one of the sets in this particular section might be so tough that you might take 20, 25, 30 minutes, but you still might not be able to figure out. So again, let's look at question 2. If the number of XL extra large blue t-shirts is the same as the number of green t-shirts, all right, then the number of extra large blue t-shirts. Let's look at the data available. So we have extra large blue is 40. So they are saying this is same as green t-shirts. So can I say green t-shirts are 40 in number? If I assume that all of them are 100, I'm taking this as the base, that all t-shirts are equal to 100 units. Now they are saying that the number of large yellow t-shirts would be 10. Large yellow t-shirts would be 10 as a percentage of XL extra large red t-shirts. So let's look at extra large red t-shirts. We don't have extra large red t-shirts. There is this others category only. So extra large red t-shirts is at least. So we want to minimize this. 10 divided by extra large red t-shirts into 100. Assume that within the others category, the distribution among the remaining colors is unrestricted and a color may have 0 t-shirts unless otherwise specified. So if we want to minimize this, can I say I could take all 30 here, and is there an option 33.33%? If I take all 30 others, 10 by 30 into 100, 1 by 3, no. So there might be a catch. Let me think. This condition we have not yet utilized, where green t-shirts are 40. So green t-shirts are 40. Now green is not a color among the colors given as yellow, black and blue. It has to be a part of others. So if I look at others, green could be 10 here. Green could be all 15 here. 10 and 15, 25. 25 and 10 here, green would make it 35. We want green to be 40, which means can I say green has to be at least 5 from here? If green has to be 5 from here, then the maximum red t-shirts that you could have, the maximum red you could have would be only 25. 25 plus 5, 30. I might make silly errors here. Let's quickly check. 10, 15, 25 and 10, 30. 10 and 15, 25 and 10, 35. So 5. Yeah, 25 seems to be the maximum that I could take. So I cannot take all 30, and it's a good thing that the options did not have. Otherwise, I might have marked the wrong answer because I completely ignored this part. So let's now quickly evaluate 10 divided by 25 into 100. So if we simplify this, this becomes 1 by 4 into 100, which is 25 fours. So this becomes 40%. 40% choice C. I'm marking this as the answer. Let's see if we move it to the next question. The sum of brown and green t-shirts. Now again, if we just look at the data, we don't have brown and green. Brown and green is a part of others. Is 117. So we are given that the number of brown and green t-shirts in the store is 117. Let's look at brown. So brown would be a part of others. Brown would be a part of others here. Brown would be a part of others. Green would be a part of others as well. Let's total the others. So 10 and 15, 25, 25 and 10, 35 and 30. 35 and 30 would be 65. So can I say others are equivalent to 65? By default, I'm going with the same assumption that I've assumed all the t-shirts to be 100. So if I assume all t-shirts bare minimum to be 100 to have these integer values, others are 65 as a base. Can I say how can this sum of brown and green, which are a subpart of others, be more than this? So it has to be a multiple of this. So because brown and green themselves are 117, the others part has to be greater than 65, which means we cannot take this as 100. Maybe we can take this as 200. Suppose we take this as 200, all the t-shirts being 200, then the number would double. 65 twos are the number would then be 130. Now 130 is larger than 117. So this is possible. Now what they are asking? They are asking the minimum number of red t-shirts. So understand, the smallest number that we could think of could be 65. The next smallest that we could think of is 130. So if 130 is that next smallest number, 117 are brown and green, and the other category t-shirts would be red. So number of red t-shirts would simply have to be 130 minus 117. So what would be this number? 13. So I'll just input my answer as 13. So theta based question, I'll input my answer as 13. Please do not forget to click on save and next. If you just hover to the question palette and click here, remember you don't get to have the marks allocated for it unless it turns green. Unless you click on save and next, you don't get marks. So remember this. Next question, number of shirts of each of the given sizes is less than 1000. So we know that by default we are assuming this to be equal to 100. They are saying at best these values could be less than 1000. The others category has three different colored t-shirts. We know the ratio is 1:2:2. All right. So let's make use of this brown, green, and red. 1:2:2. Let's total the others category overall. So in ratio terms, it will be 5. The bare minimum that we could assume would be equal to 100. If the bare minimum that we could assume be equal to 100, then can I say that others are 10, 15, 25 and 10, 35 and 30, 65. So this others bare minimum has to be 65. So if I take the multiplication factor of 13, can I say red would be 13 twos are 26, this will be 26 and this will be 13. So which of the following cannot be the number of red color t-shirts? So understand that bare minimum will have others as 65, assuming all equal quantity to be equal to 100. Therefore, can I say red t-shirts at least have to be a multiple of 26? If red t-shirts at least have to be a multiple of 26, which of the following cannot be? So 26 can be a possibility. 26 for the 104 could be a possibility. Is 195 multiple of 26? No. Is 234 a multiple? Yes. So can I say option 3, 195 could be our answer? So let me mark this as 195. Let's move ahead to the next one. Last question for this set, which of the following can be the number of yellow t-shirts? So number of yellow t-shirts, let's quickly total them up. We have 25 and 36, that would be 51. No, 61. 30 and 20, 50, 61 and 10, 71 and 15. 71 and 15, 86. So bare minimum, can I say 86 if I assume the bare minimum for small, medium, large, each of them to be 100, so that all these values come out to be integers. So yellow t-shirts have to be therefore a multiple of 86 because the smallest number is 86. So now if I look at 86, all the values are in the range of 250. If I double 80, that is around 170 something, 172. Let's do it 3s up. So 6 3s are 18, carry 1, 24, 258 is a multiple. I have an option 258. I'm very happy because 258 is available and it gives me a sense of relief. Let's mark 258, save and next. Now this is where I'll want to pause. Solving the particular sectional test is not really that crucial. You can always look at video solutions and alternate methods. The experience of getting 5 questions in the bank with a confidence that these are going to be hopefully right because you've got the right answers, right options, gives you immense confidence going forward. So your pace, your ability to solve sets quickly would tremendously increase if you get that first set right. And if you agree to me, please you can share this in the chat as well. If this is the case, you would definitely agree that this gives immense confidence going ahead. Now, as I said, these are small little things that you are expected to pick up while you observe this particular sectional test. Also understand that at this point in time, the focus is not really on solving as many questions as possible, but sharing a commentary of the same, that these are the things that would be there in my head when I'm solving a particular test and a particular set. Now, if I look at this set, I've already glanced at it, and when I look at it the second time round, if I look at options again, it's slightly intimidating. I don't want to get intimidated in my test. I'll want to skip it. I'll straight away go to the last set because that was the order that I had decided, which was around 18th or 19th question. Yes, this one. So let's quickly check if, no, this was the set, 19th is the one. So what I'll do is I'll try and figure out this particular set to the best of my ability and be patient and calm, because I've already judged that these sets, the first one and the last one, are the ones that I should take up as the first two sets, right? Very quickly, any inputs or comments from your side are welcome before I start jumping into the second set, because I'll not be able to focus on the comments straight away, right? So far so good. I hope whatever we are discussing is adding a lot of value. Perfect. So yeah, let's look at this particular set now. So we'll go and try and understand. The table below provides information about a talent hunt program. The program was conducted over 7 consecutive days, one after the other, and in the table again we have 7 days available. Let's move ahead. The registration fee, the number of working hours, the number of conditions were not necessarily the same on all 7 days, so it's perfectly fine. They would be different. Candidates who registered but could not be tested by the judges due to time constraints are allowed to come on the immediate following day or for the screen test. So this is something that is slightly different. We need to figure this out. Candidates who registered but could not be tested by the judges due to time constraints were allowed to come on the immediate following day for the screen test. All right. So there would be some candidates who would be registered, and as the column says, candidates remaining on that day. So they would be allowed to come the next day, and they would also be given a refund of ₹10 from the registration fee, and were given first preference for auditions on that day, which would mean for the next day we would prefer auditioning these candidates. All right. The TV channel successfully auditioned all the candidates by the end of 7-day program. Now this is a good clue. What do you mean by this? That this is a good clue. Effectively, at the end of the day, which means, can I say candidates remaining on that day, can I mark this number as 0 at the end of 7 days, just because they have said that at the end of 7-day program it auditioned all the candidates. So the candidates remaining should be at the end of the day 0. They have finished every candidate's audition. All the candidates were to be sent back on a particular day due to time constraints, returned for auditions the next day, and were auditioned on that very day. So they will not flip over. Also understand that if some candidates remained on day 1, they would get finished on day 2. They will not roll over to day 3. Again, pretty good clue as far as we are concerned. Now let's look at the table very carefully and try and figure out what could be the possible values that we could think of. So we have a registration fee of 100. We don't know the number of candidates that were registered. We know the candidate tested per hour were 100, but we don't know the working hours. We don't know the candidates remaining as well, but we know the revenue generated by the channel is 1,20,000. If I divide 100 by 1,20,000, can I say that the number of new candidates registered should be 1,200? I'm not sure of this. This is just a quick understanding that I'm trying to develop, whether this would be true or not. So if I assume this to be 1,200, 1,200 into 100 would make it 1,20,000. Because the refund is given, refund would be given from day 2 onwards, ₹10. Day 1 is the first day, so there is no question of refund. So 1,200 candidates, let's start with this, that I have just divided this revenue by the registration fee. So 1,200 candidates tested per hour. We don't know how many would be remaining and how many working hours are there. Let's look at this data. This is good that there are no candidates remaining. The candidates tested per hour are 140 and working hours are 10. So 140 into 10, they will total test 1,400 candidates, but new candidates were only 1,000. How are they testing 1,400 candidates on day 2? Think about it. The new candidates are 1,000, but 140 into 10, they are testing 1,400 candidates. How are they testing 400 extra candidates? Can I say this 400 should be possibly the number of candidates? Again, I'm not sure. I'm just figuring out values. I'm thinking out loud that this possibly could be 400. If this is 400, then 400 plus 1,000, 1,400 is justified. But what about this revenue generated? This is 1,16,000. If I have 1,000 candidates, and what should be the registration fee here? So if I have 1,000 candidates and I want to generate this, 116 should be the registration fee. But from this registration fee, they will have to give refund to these 400 candidates as well, and refund was ₹10, right? So 400 into 10, 4,000. So the question is, should I deduct 4,000 further from this and make it 1,12,000? or should I add 4,000? Let me add 4,000. Can I say refund would be given on day 2 itself straight away? So whatever fees you are getting, the revenue generated should be by adding the refund that was supposed to be given, because this would be what would be left as revenue generated by the channel. Think of it this way, that you would be giving away some money. I don't know whether I'm right or wrong at this point in time, but I'm just thinking out loud. Think of it this way, that you are giving away some money as a refund, but despite that you are attaining a revenue of 1,16,000, because this is the revenue generated. This is what you have had at the end of day 2. If this is what you have had at the end of day 2, 4,000 extra you would have generated because of the registration fee. So if I add 116 plus 4,000, this would be 1,20,000. So 1,20,000, and we have 1,000 as the new candidates. So 1,20,000 divided by 1,000. So this number should then be 120. Again, I am not 100% convinced that this is plus 4,000 or this should be 112, but just I am moving ahead and looking at the data from this perspective, that if this doesn't work and there is some ambiguity, we might come back to it later. At this point, this is my gut feeling that 4,000 should be added to get the total revenue. You could share your feedback and your understanding. I feel there is some ambiguity. They should have cleared whether this is the amount left at the end of the day or not. But let's see. 1,20,000. 1,20,000, and now what else do I have? There are no remaining candidates, and therefore candidates tested per hour, 800 would be the candidates total here. Should be pretty straightforward. 800 total candidates, 300 are remaining. So am I missing something? 800, let's think of it this way. New candidates would not be 800, right? Because whatever be the number here, we know that the total number of candidates tested on day 3 were 800. There were no previous candidates. No, total number of candidates were 500 that were tested, because 300 are remaining. But 800 were the new candidates, possibly. If 800 were the new candidates, we could then divide 1,40,000 by 800 to get the corresponding registration fee as well. Or am I missing something? So we have 1,16,000, 800 and 300 are still remaining. In fact, I'm doing the opposite. If I understand this correctly, 800 were actually tested and 300 were still remaining, which means the number should be actually 1,100 and not 800. Think of it this way: 1,100, 800 were tested, 300 were remaining. So effectively, am I right here in thinking 1,100? This 800 plus 300. Let's quickly check this as well for others. Yeah. So if I do this, that we have candidates tested per hour as 800. 800 were tested, 300 were still remaining. So there were essentially 1,100 candidates. So 1,54,000 divided by 1,100. This is divisible by 11. So if this is divisible by 11, this should be 140. So this is 140. And this is probably a part of the question. So always never forget to look at questions. What was the registration fee charged to each new candidate on the third day? Registration fee charged to each new candidate on third day is 140. I possibly think that I could mark this answer 140 and move on to next. Maybe I'll go back to previous because I still need to solve for the remaining, right? Or maybe go to next and scroll ahead to the part so that, yeah, I'll erase this. So these are small little challenges working on a digiboard. So this is what we have got on day in which registration fee charged to new candidate was 130. We can now quickly move ahead with this. This data is 1,100. So we are already done with this. 200 into 7, 1,400 plus 100 are remaining. So 300 were remaining from the previous day. Timer is also running. We have just 11 minutes left. Hopefully we could finish off discussion of solving of this set completely. this is taking a lot of time. At this point in time, a lot of us might panic that, this is not coming out the way we would have wanted, but there are only a few values left. Let's focus. Hopefully we should be able to get this right. So 200 into 7 is 1400. 1400, and because we have 300 here, so we'll have an extra 3,156. 1,56,000 would be the part here. And if 1,56,000 would be the part here, we need to figure out the new candidates as well as the registration fee. We can think of new candidates as the total being 1,500, 300 from previous. So new candidates would be 1,200. If we divide this by 1,200, the registration fee would be 130. So what are they asking? On the day on which registration fee charge was 130, how many new candidates registered? New candidates registered were 1,200 if I am not wrong. Let's mark this as 1,200. Save and next. Let's move ahead to the next one. So yeah, what else? How many candidates were sent back and called again the next day? So far 400, 300, 700 and 100, 800. The answer has to be greater than 800. So this cannot be the answer. We have to figure out the rest of the values as well. For this, very quickly, we know the last data is 0. All right, 120 and previous candidates were 1000. So if I add 1000, this is 1,50,000. 1,50,000 divided by 120, this would be 1250. So number of new candidates registered were 1250. 1250 plus 100 would be 1350. 225 into 6 would be how much? 1200 plus 150, that is 1350. So can I say this number again comes out to be 0? I might be making a mistake in calculation. Anyways, so if this is 0, 120 into 1300 would be 15600 here. 15600. This is 800. 800 candidates. We don't know how many are remaining. If we move ahead, there are 1500 candidates tested. 1500 candidates tested, and this number should be, so we have 156. How to calculate this number? Candidates remaining on this day, whatever are remaining would go to the next candidates, new candidates as well. 150 into 10, nobody should remain, so everybody would get tested. And registration fee is the registration fee not given for the last day, 7th day? Registration fee is not given for the last day. So it would be slightly difficult to think about this value. Anyways, let's look at this again. So am I missing something? 7 minutes are left. 800 would be the candidates tested per hour. Candidates remaining on that day, we don't know. Previous candidates are none. So I have this number 1300. Now why am I missing this? 1300 minus 800. Can I say this number should be 500? Because 500 is what is remaining. 500. And then finally, if you look at this, so we'll have 500 from the previous day, 1500 are tested, so new candidates would be 1000, and now I get whatever be the value, 5,000 from here separately. So 5,000 subtracted from 1,10,000, this should be 1,05,000 if I am not wrong. Let's go ahead with this. How many candidates were sent back? So we have 400 and 300, 7 and 800, 800 and 500, 1300. There is an option 1300. Let's mark this option 1300, save and next. Last question for this particular set, which is about if the revenue generated on the 4th day. So I'll erase these highlights. Revenue generated on the 4th day had been 1,68,600. 4th day had been 1 lakh. So instead of 1,53,000, they are saying 1,68,000. So what would be the difference? 153. So it would be 15,600 extra. 15,600 extra is because of the new registrations. And what are the per candidate fee? per candidate fee is 130. So if I divide this by 130, can I say 13 12s are 156? 120 extra candidates were registered. As a result, increasing the number of candidates not tested on the day. All right. So we already know that 100 candidates were remaining. These 120 would get added up to those particular number of candidates. So what would be the change in the revenue generated on the next day? If everything else remains same, the refund given to these 120 would get added. So 1200 would be the net decrease. Decrease or increase? Revenue would decrease, right? Because these are extra candidates, will have to give refund. So 1200 decrease could possibly be the answer. Option 2 seems to be the answer for this, because we have identified because of this 120 candidates. So let me click save and next. So I've got 9 questions correct so far. I've got 2 sets right. Yeah. Now what should I do? I'm just left with 5 odd minutes. I'll quickly jump to sets where there could be some theta questions, or if I'm very comfortable with sets where there are single odd questions. So let's quickly jump to this particular set from 13. Agent, this is from which country, and so on. So it might take a lot of time. I might not be able to solve it completely. What other choices do I have? So this is a set question 13, 14, 15, 16. Do I have single out questions here? How many matches did Australia win in the morning? Again, I have no clue with regards to this set, because this will again take a lot of time. The team that won on Friday morning finished with how many wins in the league stage? Now these are questions where I could make a calculated guess. Understand that there are 5 teams and they're playing a match against each other. So, and no team played more than 1 match on a particular day. Each team played exactly 1 match. So 5C2, 10 matches are going to be there. Every team will play 4 matches. So the team that won Friday morning finished with how many wins in the league stage? So any random number, maybe you like a number 2, you could mark 2, 3, 3. Just type in that number and save a next, because there are no negative markings there. So I've gone through all theta questions 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's quickly check how many wicket keepers played in more than 250 one-day internationals. Now, because there was sufficient time left, there is a chance that some of you would want to pick up a set and try it to the best of your abilities. Perfectly right. That is also a strategy that you could use. I am trying to figure out if I could guess some theta questions, because the sets look difficult. But my recommendation would be, if you feel that there are certain sets that you could partially solve and get 1 or 2 questions right, that would be a possible way to attempt this as well. So this is a theta question. How many wicket keepers? There are 100 wicket keepers. Took fewer than 100 catches. Again, random some number you could input and move ahead. Then 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. 9th we have already marked. 11th, agent Hulk is spying country, and we have to write 1 if A is the answer. Agent Hulk. We don't know H. Let's mark some number. Maybe number 2. So we have attempted all theta questions as well, just as a guess. That is something that you need to keep in mind. If not this early, maybe in the last 1 minute or so. We still have 2.5 minutes left. Let's quickly see if we could play around with this particular set and see, maybe this could have been a set that we could have picked. So we have around 9 agents and there are 9 countries, and the 9 countries that they belong to and the 9 countries that they spy on. So 2 countries are considered neighboring. Again, looks time consuming. We'll have to create this structure of A, B, C, D and so on, along with the neighboring country, along with the country that they spy on. Maybe I could have spent less time on the last set. I could have got this set right. So my selection strategy, I'm okay with getting these 5 and 4, 9 questions right, because I'm pretty sure if they are right, I'm going to clear the sectional cutoff. But effectively, if I would not have done the commentary, if I would have been more active on trying to solving the set, I might have got few questions from this particular set as well. I don't know. So, but broadly speaking, this is something that I won't say is a very good effort. There would be definitely students who could maybe crack this particular third set completely and the set on games and tournaments, because these two sets seem doable, games and tournaments as well as this one. But the only question was time consumption compared to the first and last set that I had picked. So all in all, I'm not very disappointed, but I'm not very happy with my performance as well. And this is what I'll have to do when I do the analysis part. So when I analyze, I should be very harsh on myself, saying, why did I spend so much time? There were some simple values. Maybe I was not able to see them clearly because of the reflection on the board, but these are all excuses in the exam scenario. All those things will not matter. You will have to figure out what could be the possible value, mark the answer, assuming that these questions are correct. If they go wrong, then you'll have to be extra harsh on yourself and understand where are the fundamentals going wrong, what is it that you are not getting right, and so on and stuff. So broadly speaking, this is where I am done with this particular attempt. Now we can, once the solutions are available, we can look at the answers as well. I'm slightly nervous. You should be, anybody should be. So yeah, all right. So we have completed the set. Sectional test, attempted 12, correct 10, 2 incorrect. So effectively, maybe one theta question we got incidentally right. And overall, the score is 10 correct, 30 marks. So if we can click on view detailed scorecard, we'll be able to look at the questions as well, which we got right, which we got incorrect, and so on. But the whole point is this, that irrespective of the amount of preparation you have done, irrespective of the background work that you have been able to do so far, those 40 minutes play a very, very crucial part, and your ability to judge the set. So as I said earlier, some of you might feel that I wasted 5-6 minutes at the start. I maybe gave a lot more time on the last set than was required. These are areas of improvement for me. Maybe I should decide on set selection in 5 or less minutes. Maybe I should focus on my ability to figure out plus minus related values when certain number of product for registration along with number of new cases per student fee is given. So maybe I need to focus on my abilities to improve my calculation in my head faster on those values. Maybe I should be more confident about the matrix arrangement sets. So I'm more confident with DI, but maybe I'm not that good at the matrix arrangement part. So these are some of the things that I think could be super useful to learn while you were observing this particular set. If you have any questions now, I'll be able to look at your questions in the chat. And a big thank you for staying with me all this while. I know it can be slightly boring when you look at somebody solving this, but this is actually what happens when you attempt a test, irrespective of whatever you have done earlier. So, right, it's around 25 odd people still remaining. Quickly, if you have any questions, we can look at the detailed scorecard. So we got few questions wrong. The first 5 questions of our set, all right. The 4 questions already right. And one theta question that we had marked randomly. So this is pure luck. This we also got right. So I would say 9 3 27 is something that was, a score that you could credit. One was pure luck. It could have gone either way. But it was a good idea to attempt all the theta questions and put some random numbers there, because you never know, you might get them right. And believe me, this 1 mark plus 1 question right extra in theta, which was a random guess, happens all the time with a lot of people who get those higher 99.89 percentiles. And this I'm sharing from experience that, theta questions, any which ways, you're not going to get anything wrong, negative there. So if at all you get just 1 question right, imagine somebody struggling hard to get those 9-10 questions right, and you're getting right just by pure luck. So that 1 extra question can, make a difference between a 99.8 and a 19.9 plus percentile. So never lose out on theta questions either in VRC, DLR or QA. All right. I'm doing it on board. How can we do it quickly as we cannot see the question? Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that while doing it on rough sheet, you'll have to create that same table again. So while solving that particular last set, you will have to recreate that table, or maybe just write down those values for the corresponding new registrations. that difference would obviously be there. Should you focus on DI or LR? My suggestion is, in the last few years, DLR has been a mixture. So there hasn't been a pure DI set or a pure LR set as such. It has been a mixture of DLR, critical reasoning, logical reasoning, data interpretation, everything combined. So it's always a good idea to practice and be good at both. Please do not rely on one thing, because you might have some easy sets from LR, some easy sets from DI. So you could pick that one easy set from DI, one easy set from LR. Do not have this preconceived notion that I am strong in DI or I am strong in LR. Pick and choose and then take a call accordingly. Very quickly, some other questions and then we'll wrap up. If you have to start CAT 26 starting Monday, very weak in maths, there are a lot of strategy based sessions, how to get to 99 percentile in QA, already available on this channel. You can watch those. You'll get a detailed structured approach to starting your preparation. So stay tuned to this channel. Make sure that you watch those videos available, already existing. Entire 1.5 hour video available specifically for QA as well, to reach a 99 percentile, and overall all three sections combined 99 percentile as well. In general, just follow the process of making sure that if you're enrolled somewhere, watch the videos available, the concept videos, pre-class videos. If you're not enrolled, make sure that you create a plan accordingly, so that your fundamentals for every topic in QA are clear, because again, you don't know from which question easy question might come. So it's important for you to be very good at all topics in QA, and then take it from there by practicing those application based questions in as many mocks as possible. But make sure your fundamentals across the chapters of QA are thorough. All right. Yes, 4 months should be good enough if you work hard enough. As I said, there are two videos on this very channel. One, it is by me, and one by Amit sir as well. So you can just watch those two videos, and I'm sure that you would get an idea as to what could be done in the next 4 months to do really well, not just in QA, but overall in the three sections combined. All right then. So that's it from my side. Thank you so much for being patient and participating. This leads to the end of our session. We'll keep interacting in some more sessions in future.